at that time, the function of music is to cover up the sound from the projector, wasn't during the movie is played. This is because at that time there was no sound absorption between the projector engine and the cinema. And then it makes the room noisy and disrupt the visual enjoyment of the audience. To cover up the sound from the projector's engine, and then the cinema owner at that time used music to neutralize the noise. So, what is film scoring? So, it is film scoring, as we know as movie scoring, music, film, background music is music written specifically to accompany scenes of a movie. This is why. And why use music? And as I told you before, this is the music will cover unwanted sounds, maintaining continuity between scenes in the film, guide the audience to things that are important in the film, affect the feelings of the audiences. Music conveys the purpose of the continuation of the story, especially in the confusing story. Through the memories, music is able to integrate with film and allow the symbolism of the past and the future by relative technique. And film scoring serves to enhance the real sense of a film. This is done by aiding the effect of listening and increasing attention to the film, the artistic value of the movie. So, besides that, music is also music in a film, or we call it film scoring, create an atmosphere, nuance, mood, and emotion for the audience. Emotion is one of the elements in the film that must be created for the audience and understand the meaning of the story and visual images that exist in the film. So one of the things to arise the emotion of the audience by using the music. So, and this is the making of the process of making a film scoring. So the first stage is meeting the filmmakers, and then you need to discuss with the filmmaker, and then reading the script, film screening, spotting, budget and recording schedule, concept, synchronize, writing, composing. And then, so there are several things to consider when you are making a film scoring. So the first one is instrumentation. So instrumentation is the basic material, so the important thing when you make a film scoring, because this is each musical instrument has their character, and also their unique sounds to build or to arouse the audience emotion. So instrumentation is the selection of musical instrument based on consideration of timbre and articulation of each music instrument. 2. Musical textures. Musical textures are a combination of melody layers that produce the thickness of the sound of music. And then 3. Dynamic. The dynamic in music refers to the soft and loud sound of music. 4 is melody. A melody is a series of tunes that have pitch and pace of a particular tone. Harmony. Harmony is a combination of pitch with different pitches and played simultaneously. And then rhythm is a series of tunes and rest formed by a time signature or tempo. Scale is a collection of pitches with different pitch arranged from low to high. So as I told you before, that the choosing a music instrument is the basic in making film scoring. So this is very important. This research is a preliminary research that conduct in a classroom. So this is a classroom action research method. So this is with the aim to improve the quality of learning in the faculty of recorded and media art of Institut Seni Indonesia Yogyakarta. So we found that there is a problem because most of the students did not have a sufficient knowledge about a musical instrument. So this research, so we did this research to gain the knowledge of a student by giving them the sampling of musical instrument. So we collect the sound of the musical instrument, and also we put it in the screen with the picture of the instrument, and then after that we let the student to use whether to use or not the sampling as their guide in making film scoring. So this is the preliminary observation at the first stages, and we found that only 15 students achieve high score. We mean that achieve high score is between 80 until 100. It's only 15 students out of 40 students. And then 30, while the other 30 students didn't get the high score. So it is a problem that we need to solve in making film scoring. So this is the process, the process that we need to reinforce the way we teach. So makes the sampling, string, woodwind, brass, percussion, and electronic. And then sampling equipped with a picture of the instrument, and then introduce and explain the sampling of various instruments on the lecture. And every student is given the task of making film scoring. And then after that, the lecturer will evaluate the result of the student assignment and then perform the analysis and draw a conclusion. And then the lecturer gives feedback to the student to find out whether the sampling musical instrument method can help the student in knowing and giving knowledge about various musical instruments, and at the same time knowing whether the sampling can be used as a guide in choosing the musical instrument in accordance with the character of the film. And here are the result. And then so based on the data, after the lecture use sampling of music instrument, from 45 students, 40 students understand string instrument, and 37 understand woodwind instrument, and 39 understand brass instrument, 35 students understand percussion instrument, and 40 students understand electronic instrument. And while this one, there are 39 out of 45 students using sampling that used from that the lecturer made as their guide in making film scoring. So the conclusion is the sampling of musical instruments giving appropriate knowledge and understanding to students in recognizing musical instrument, and sampling of musical instrument can be used as a guide in making film scoring and learning illustration music subject. And also the selection of musical instrument that is appropriate to the character of the movie seen in the film scoring is the most important thing, because the use of music in the film scoring is not used by the song, but it is sound that consists of 2 or 3 notes, which is played repeatedly until creating the feel, atmosphere, and mood of the movie. And according to Huntley, say that music allows the producer to suggest and express emotion and association, which have been impossible to achieve by visual images. And then thank you.
Thank you for illustrating at the end what you were explaining in the beginning. Obviously, when we use the phrase a picture or a video is worth 1,000 words, then we begin to understand. I'm very curious about the word appropriate, and that seemed to be one of the criteria that you used to differentiate between students who had scored high score versus a low score in knowing what musical instruments to sample in order to make their film score. So I'm curious, can you tell me a little bit more about that criteria of what constitutes appropriate for the use of the musical instruments?
So basically, it's a kind of
Okay.
so basically, each instrument has the characteristic is support to the film genre, like the sadness, the passion, the reflection, and the deep regret. And also with the brass instrument or the commonly used the power, the strength, and the courage. And also the percussion is used to action scenes or scenes and so on. And the electronic instrument can be used anything as long as possible to play the instrument. So the word proper means to the genre and also the choosing the musical instrument.
I see. So the example that we saw there, which I was very impressed. I thought the use of the music, it kind of reflected the emotion, the timing was good. Is this an example of something that scored very high in your rankings, or?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so you've chosen a good example.
Yes.
Do you have a bad example?
Yes, we have.
We have time. Can we see it?
But we don't. We only prepare for this. For
Okay.
the best, yeah, and then we keep it.
Uh-huh.
The best.
The reason being is because it seems in terms of your research trajectory, you're shooting towards something that's pedagogic. So what I'm waiting for then is some type of kind of music education framework that tells us it seems like you're searching for teaching criteria or methods of transmission that will improve musical instrument selection and music making. Can you describe for me a little bit, I don't know, is that your intention then for this research project, is to improve existing teaching techniques so that students choose instruments better? Is that your rationale?
Yes, because from the preliminary observation and also with the interview with the student, that I told you before with the data that 30 students get the lowest scores, and then we did some interview with the student and we asked what is the problem, why you got your low score, and then what is your need, what is your need for your knowledge to gain the high score. Okay, and then based on the interview, we know it that mainly of the student, they didn't know, even they didn't know it, which is what is or maybe they know the violin, maybe they know the cello, but they didn't know the oboe, the flute, and the bassoon, and even they didn't know and recognize how it sounds. So it makes our like I said before too, that this is the preliminary. I mean this is only for the selection of the instrument. After that we need to improve the way we teach, the way the creative way to teach the student So they need to more creative. So this is only the.
So that's where I got a bit confused, because what we saw, I mean, in your example, was actually a finished product rather than the process. And I think there's where I got a bit confused, because you're examining the process of number one, presenting music samples,
Yeah.
and then how is that received? So you're trying to measure the reception of the musical instruments and the sampling and so on. Okay. So your research questions was to provide an introduction and knowledge to the students, and also number two, choosing an appropriate musical instrument. I have a question, since we are where we are, which is a beautiful art center, and the word sampling in my mind actually comes to where the students go out and collect different sounds, record them, and create a kind of a sound bank. Is that something that you have in your teaching in Wells as well? Do students sample as a part of the process of creating film scores? That's my question.
That is the next part. We need to improve that. I said before that this is the basic they know it about the instrument, but after that we need to improve our teaching, like you said before that. Maybe we go out and then we need to getting some musicals or non-musical sounds that we need to sampling. Also, we need to know it, how it sound and how it sound evac to the film.
There's where I think you need to get into music education literature and choose a word that's not sampling, in my opinion, because sampling is a packed word. It's a loaded word, especially if we're talking about music composition. I think you need an analytical term that is along the lines of selection, or criteria for selection, or something like that goes more towards the realm of pedagogy. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I talked too long. Music teachers sometimes talk a lot. Okay, so I don't know if there's other questions, but we've hit 21 minutes. My apologies.
No, it's okay. Well, we still have some minutes. Audience, please. Okay.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Putri. So I have a question for Miss Oriana. Like, how far music give an effect for a movie, and what if the music felt as a background and more stand out as an object in that movie? So what kind of, and one more, like what kind of music is needed for a movie that is needed for a movie? Thank you.
Can I answer the question now, or?
Yeah, just answer it and
Okay.
let's see whether we still have time or not.
Yeah, okay. For the first question, I'm not specialized in music animation, and as long as I know, and as long as I got from the reference that I read, and if we failed in choosing the proper instrument, it will affect the film. So maybe the message of the film we cannot convey with the audience feeling or the audience emotion. And two, the question number 2 is about kind of music.
What kind of music is needed for a movie?
What kind of? No, it's not about orchestra. We need to separating this thing. This is the different thing. In making film music, we do 3 things. Either or. 1, you can make an orchestration. 2, you can make an arrangement. 3, you could make instrumentation. It means that you can. It depends on the genre of film that the filmmaker ordered to you. So I can't answer what kind of film. It depends on the filmmaker wants you to build the emotion.
Thank you. Yeah, and now we still have time.
Right, thank you. So, from what I read here, it's like you are trying to give knowledge of variety of musical instruments for the students, so they understand more about their characteristic and apply it to be as a background in movie. But I don't know why. I think the concentration is about the musical instruments characteristics. So is it more about timbre? Is it right?
Yes.
But yeah, as we know that previously you also mentioned that we have like 7 elements of music that can create the characteristic of the
you're
music.
right.
So is it enough for them to make a determination on how I have to make a film scoring just based on the timbre of a musical instrument? And
No.
yeah, that's my first question. And how you deal with that problem. And as for the second is wait. Oh, the sampling. This is my correct me if I'm wrong. I thought that you are providing some example of music towards the students, so they have an introduction to this kind of music and on how they can use it as the illuminations. If I comes to the 7th element of the music, it means that you need to provide like a lot of sample of timbre with a lot of variation in rhythm and a lot of variation in harmony. So you have like 49 variation of musical samples. Is it right? It just we have a 7 timbre or something, and you give it to the student, or because I'm a little bit getting confused on how we can make a particular example towards the students and make them determine which one should be applied to my music, because even same strings can have a different emotional effect if we have a different harmonization or rhythm. Ethan? Thank you.
So the first one, too long question. Oh, okay.
It's a
No,
illustration.
I just recall my memory. Okay. The first it is not enough. It is not enough only give them only the timbre of the music to know it about how to making the film music. But as I mentioned before, that this is the preliminary, because they don't know based on the interview for the with the student, they don't know about the music instrument like in the orchestra setting. So we need we work with on it first, and then after they gain the knowledge about this kind of musical instrument, and then we need to improve our how to teach them with another kind of music instrument, music element. And then the second,
You have
Sample the sample that you give to the
how to choose the appropriate samples.
Oh, yeah, how to make sure that the sample is containing all of the 7 elements so they can make appropriate determination.
so it refers to the question, my answer number 1. So this is the preliminary. So we don't need, we didn't make the another 7, but we only give them the example of selection of only selection of the musical instrument, not the other one, because yeah, you know that they didn't not have a particular musical knowledge about the musical instrument. So that's good.
Okay. Unfortunately, we have no more time, Miss Theo, right? Yeah. Okay, now let's go to the third paper. Music, a tool in transforming the social status of special needs